Hello, everyone. Today I am interviewing Carrie Creighton, a bar and restaurant proprietor in the city of Cincinnati. I'm speaking with her about her influence and what motivates her to be involved with the city. Welcome and thank you for taking the time to speak with me. Do you have any key life experiences that have formed who you are today?
Yes, I do. Grew up in Cincinnati, my entire life. Always pretty active in Cincinnati. And one of my key life experiences, I would say, was staying in Cincinnati for college. I went to Xavier University. I was highly involved there because I was able to play tennis there, which enabled me the ability to travel outside of the region. And while traveling outside of the region, realizing at that moment how much I actually loved where I lived.
How did you become passionate and involved in our city?
Again, I would have to say it was originally started with tennis. Um, as a young tennis player, um, I was able to teach around the city and experience different communities and different types of people along the city. So there are essentially, about 6 or 7 different distinct parts of the city that I was became familiar with.
Do you have any core values and how are they reflected in your work?
Yeah, one of the core values that I have is commitment. And we own several bar and restaurants, and part of that is committing to doing what you're actually said you're going to do. And there are a lot of people who depend on you. So you have to be committed to whatever it is you say you're going to do. You need to be committed to them as well.
Why is Cincinnati a great city?
I will tell you, it is the one place when you leave and you talk to other people and tell them where you're from, the first question somebody will say is, "Where did you go to high school?" It's one of the only places that I know in the country where that is the question everybody asks. And that's where people's love of the city begins, I feel like, in high school. And they always come back to Cincinnati. And the reason is it's such a strong family friendly place where the schools are really important and the community is important and everybody supports each other, even though there are hundreds of rivals. It's just a great family place.
What causes, projects, and activities are you involved in, and why?
One of the biggest ones I will say we've been focused on the last couple of years is we opened up one of our bar and grills along the Little Miami River, which um, flows right behind the bar and grill. It is a big waterway in the city, and it has gained more popularity since COVID has hit. Um, and we're heavily involved in that, along with the EPA, with other bar and restaurants that sit along the Little Miami, and with other organizations that use the Little Miami for recreation purposes.
How do you collaborate with other groups and individuals to realize your impactful work?
We do actually collaborate with a lot of people because we're in the entertainment industry essentially. And so um, our groups we focus with our other bars and restaurants and a lot of foundations and nonprofits.
What other creators who are focused on similar causes and projects and activities have influenced you?
I actually live in a really small community that is right next to one of the bar and grills that we own. And I find a lot of support in a lot of the women that are my age that are heavily involved in some of the nonprofit foundations. I have actually a group of gals that I work with that are really creative and they do things for the Cincinnati parks.
What would you recommend I do to become a future trader of a great city?
I think the best way, especially at your age, is to get involved. And it's easy to say get involved, but what I would say is to start off would be to, if you know there's an event coming up, sign up for the event, volunteer for 3 hours, just or 2 hours of your time, meet the people that are involved with that particular event. I think that's the easiest way to get involved.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I really appreciate the effort you put into this interview. I could see why everyone in the city of Cincinnati loves it as much as they do, with creators like you and others surrounding the city. The city of Cincinnati is a great place for everyone to live. And once again, thank you so much for your time.